we're now really blessed to have the presence of Dolma Clark, who runs the Live Barefoot Foundation, which is an in-house philanthropic and impact investment hub centralizing all social and environmental R&D projects at Vivo Barefoot, which is a purpose-driven Clark family footwear company with a mission to reconnect people and nature by creating regenerative footwear and experiences. Previously, Dolma collaborated with indigenous communities to set up ethical shoemaking operations in Ethiopia, providing jobs and leveraging locally sourced materials. She's passionate about preserving traditional craftsmanship and sharing wisdom and knowledge from indigenous communities around the world. Dolma is originally from, I'm going to butcher this, Lake Baikal in Siberia, and is an LSE, London School of Economics graduate in human rights and a champion of Russia in archery. We're really excited to have Dolma here. Her and her family are doing incredible work on regenerative material science breakthroughs and innovations across the whole value supply chain. So over to you, Dolma, for a brief technical regenerative tech showcase.
Cool, thank you. Thank you for having me today. Lots of familiar faces. And the host needs to enable my screen share, if that's okay. Hello?
We'll make sure that happens straight away.
Cool. So that was a very long introduction. Thank you, Brian. So I'm joining here today from London. I'm originally from Lake Baikal. I studied, was trained in human rights and ended up joining the family business. Actually, I first kind of joined the, but inevitably we would talk about shoemaking pretty much all the time, and then like, okay, I can have a look at some factories, and I ended up working enough for 5 years before setting up lots of supplies and training people in shoemaking to provide the one family business called Vivo Barefoot to go in formal capacity, launching in-house incubation called Live Barefoot. So to give a quick overview on what journey are we on, let's start first with a problem. The whole shoemaking industry is in incredible complex, it basically consists of extremely complex issues, so to say. So now over 24 should Hello?
Dolma, I think we lost you there for just a moment. Your audio is going a little bit in and out, so maybe just check to close any other apps that you might have open.
Yeah, it's all closed, and I can't share my screen again. Okay.
Make her a host again, please.
Yeah, is it sharing?
Yes, and your audio sounds much more clear.
Cool. Apologies. I don't know what's happening. So yeah, so there is a massive problem, complex problem with shoemaking industry, from fitting to waste it creates, to greenhouse gases it produces, to basically providing a whole health issue on top of it, because basically the bottom line is, and I'll get to that in a bit, the whole padded, narrow footwear is complete opposite to what the natural movement's supposed to be. So with all these issues facing us, and since the family has been in the business for many generations now, this is the seventh generation that's in the footwear business. there was a lot of thinking about what is the understanding of responsible business, what does it mean to have a sustainable business, and what does it mean to build an actual regenerative business. So the proposition today is we are in a regenerative footwear and experiences business with a mission to reconnect people to nature and human natural potential. Like, what does it mean to be a human in the modern world? This kind of connected, holistic lifestyle. What does kind of in 21st century sort of what is our normal understanding what's normal versus what does it mean to live this natural holistic lifestyle, and how we can build this regenerative world, and in our case, like how we can do it with product and services that we provide. So the bottom line, the overarching sort of philosophy is how we can bring people to live more barefoot, i.e. connected to nature in community-oriented way, practicing grounding and natural way of living, practicing natural movement and all the sort of components of living this healthy lifestyle. And then starting from the product, we have developed a patented technology on making the most sort of barefoot footwear. And it's based on 3 principles: wide, thin, and flexible, which allows you to have a stable movement, full sensory experience, and strong feet. Basically, at the end of the day, your feet is like extraordinary piece of a tool that has been disregarded, by majority of brands, and it's also directly connected with how the brain development evolves from childhood, and there's tons of research that we're doing from like a sort of natural movement perspective. So going back to the product and how we organize the business, we are looking into incorporating like regenerative principles on how we can regenerate and restore nature through our products and services, how we can create the system that everything is open sourced, and then how we can utilize and incorporate into entire supply chain, and how things executed from like supernatural material perspective. So there are some developments happening on algae space and kelp, mycelium, regenerative agriculture, and example of that would be Ethiopia. We are right now organizing a project in Ethiopia where actually my whole shoemaking journey started. This is a factory that we set up. We launched it in 2017. At that time, I was basically graduating from university and was given a task whether we can create an ethical supply chain from local source materials in Ethiopia, and which worked. I mean, if anybody asked if I should do it now again, it probably would be a big question mark, because it was extremely complicated project, but it's going. And to top it up, we're now starting a whole regenerative agriculture value chain project in Ethiopia. And if anyone interested on regenerative agriculture, please reach out. It's going to be a super exciting program. And looking into end-of-life solutions and making sure that zero products end up in landfills. There is a whole program was launched called Revivo. It's basically first of its kind, a secondary market of returned footwear that we basically refurbish, and then it gets heritage and then get resold on a secondary market called Revivo. And nobody has ever done this before. And now so like we're basically organizing a knowledge transfer with several other companies so they can utilize the platform and launch their own. Because, as you can see, it's quite a lot of shoes basically end up in landfills, and then basically they rot there for many, many, many years. So everything we do is backed up by research, as we call it, barefoot research, and the whole journey led us back to origins of humanity, i.e. in Africa, or specifically in this case to the San community of the Kalahari. And because we were looking for examples, real life examples of real natural movers and shakers. And in this case, the Juanzi San community worked with us to create a whole research around natural movement. And you can see some examples of like images from the ground. And there's a whole book called Do You Want Your Feedback, which you can find in PDF format online. And it's been a fascinating journey based, we ended up even creating a workshop with the community to preserve the traditional sandal making technique. So if we break like from sort of human evolution perspective, footwear has always been part of our history, or like and we invented shoes, you know, thousands and thousands of years ago, and they were designed to prevent us from cuts and cold, and but they were always designed to enable us to move naturally. And then if you look into like the original shoe and how we're trying to do it, is obviously like the concept is extremely simple. It needs to be shape of your feet and allow you to basically let your feet to do their thing, which brings us back how we can connect this disconnect right now, like all this padded systems that we have in society, how we can create like um, create the best version of learning how we used to make footwear, which was extremely circular, extremely regenerative, only like local production, local consumption. You get to your local cobbler, you get it fixed. But then how we can do it in a modern way, in like in the modern situation, utilizing the modern technologies. And this is where the project of Vivo Biome comes in, which is one of our sort of top innovation programs, alongside all the material innovation and stuff. So this is a project that we actually seeded at COP26. It's a data-driven regenerative footwear made to measure on digital supply chains, or everything is made on your scanned feet, and it basically creates 70% less weight than traditional supply chain. So we working on it to get it right to like physically launch it this coming spring. And yeah, so that's we're in the process of developing an app and testing a whole entire digital supply chain right now. And the team is growing, and it's extremely exciting place to be. Uh, so as part of launching Vivo Biome, one of the bigger problems in this space is that there are no like biomaterials suitable for footwear for 3D printing. So therefore we're launching a prize in collaboration with Innovation 4.4 to scout out non-toxic biomaterial propositions from around the world. So that's launching on Oceans Day on 8th of June. And we're going to be calling for innovators in this space to submit the innovation propositions, and then we will in-house test it and see if it actually works, and then we could work together how to scale it. Again, if anyone on the panel or who is listening interested in material innovation, please do reach out, because we're looking for partners. We've got testing partners, we've got the judging panel, everything ready, but if anyone interested in this space, please do let me know. So, and since it's a UNESCO Logic Day, we ran a campaign last year with Oxygen NGO. It's a US-based organization run by Wasser Seidel, who we partnered to organize this Stop Harmful Algae Blooms campaign for UNESCO. To organize an educational campaign to prevent harmful algae blooms uh, appearing in the fresh waterways. So this campaign has been, it was reached to over 1.2 million people, and then we've got like 9,000, as you can see, 9,637 signatures, and it would so like as since it's a UNESCO day, this is a formal sort of a report, I would say, that this program has happened, and then we're passing on this letter to UNESCO to urging them to implement an educational campaign, because we do know that they have a whole division on harmful algae blooms, but an educational campaign must happen urgently, because obviously like fresh waterways getting affected as of today, like live, and local communities can act on it. So this is just a quick example how it's all interrelates, how like the business can have a voice from not just only innovating on supply chains and how products are made, but also like how we can use our communities and the ways we have to kind of raise awareness on critical issues, and how we can restore ourselves as well as restore the planet. But at the end of the day, the whole movement starts with your own well-being. If you're not happy and connected and grounded yourself, then how we can build a healthy, connected communities and healthy environment around us. So that's a quick run over what we're trying to do. And yeah, we're trying to build the business as nature intended. And there is a whole massive integrated business report that we launched literally like a couple of weeks ago. Please do have a look. If you Google up Viva Barefoot business report, it will come up. Everything what we do is extremely transparently shown in that report. It's like 90 pages report. And yeah, we're looking for like-minded people who we could partner and grow together. And yeah, like basically it's, at the end of the day, it's all about collaborations and to build this fairer, just world for all. Yeah, so thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you, Brian, and apologies for technical glitches in the beginning. Thanks God I didn't run the video. That would be even worse. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toma. Please, we encourage you to share links in the chat with the audience, especially the video.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, but I do ask if you can have a look at the report and let me know what you think.